We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.
Welcome back to the Daily Helpline.
I want you guys to meet Julia and Zach. Thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you. And why don't you tell us a little bit about why you're here today?
Well, I opened my business about 10 years ago before I had a husband and a lovely 2-year-old child, and it was going awesome. And last year I was forced to relocate because my building was sold, and the business just hasn't been the same. It's just been very challenging to figure out how to let my husband know that it's not as successful as it was recently.
Wow, it really seems like that success is tied to something deeper.
Yeah.
It's okay. Tell us about that piece.
It's just very hard when everything was going great and all of a sudden it's not anymore. You know what? I never know what the right time is to bring something like that up.
Well, let's get Zach in on the conversation. Zach, what do you say on this?
Yeah, I mean, it's so seldom that we actually can have a relaxed moment together that when the subject does come up of, you know, I'm short or this isn't going well or no one came in, I kind of can be very like jovial and happy, and all of a sudden my mood will tank and I get really upset out of nowhere. So that's...
You know, a marriage is supposed to be able to speak to everything, the good and the bad, the better and the for worse. But for some reason, you guys are having the disconnect with the for worse, which then really makes it worse. So tell me what's going on. Why does she not feel that you can support her in that situation? What is it that you're really wanting her to do with this business?
I guess I'm just upset that it's not doing as well as I know it could be doing.
Oh, I'm not ready to give up on my dream, and it feels like I'm gonna have to make that decision. But
I know that when my son was born and he's turning 6, I don't know if there's anything also becoming a parent that gets into it as well. I know when my son was born, I joke with my husband, I'm like, oh, I was something special once. Obviously, I'm more special now that I have a child, but in my life, but I was doing this and I was doing that, and I was off, and you didn't have any responsibilities except for myself, and I kind of would do whatever my husband, we ever did, you know. So I wonder if there's something also based in that. It's like now you also have a child, and your family now is, you're 3 now, and it's only been 2 years, you're a new mom.
right.
You know? And I think that that plays into also feeling what's going on.
I think this is part of the pattern, is that you get upset and cry and you just sit there and shut down, and or you yell. But I don't think we're seeing the real story. I just think we're kind of tiptoeing around this thing. And unless you guys let us into the real story, we can't really help you.
Yeah.
And so I want to know what really goes on.
I feel like I'm carrying all this weight, and that when I see that she's not bringing in, it feels like she's not carrying an equal share.
And that pisses you off?
Yeah.
See, we have to show up in this marriage a little bit differently. That's what's got to happen here. And I heard you say something, which was, I'm afraid, I'm right there, I'm afraid that I'm going to have to give up my dream. What is that about?
Well, if I'm not able to contribute, it doesn't seem like I can continue to do what I've been doing for so long. And then I have my child at home, so what's the point of missing out on his childhood if I'm not able to bring something to the family? What is it time to just let go of my dream?
My heart is hurting for them. They're under so much pressure.
And I think there's more of this story to be told.
For
I know there's a
sure.
2.5-year-old son in the picture, so we're going to dig into that when we get back. But for now, we're going to go to break. We got more with Julia and Zach when we come back.
Coming up, how bad does it really get?
Because I do believe this communication is an issue.
There's intense issues going on.
We love getting your questions, so we want you to keep them coming via Facebook, Twitter, and on our webpage. Who knows, we might just answer your question here in the studio audience next.